Hi guys, good morning everyone. You guys are able to see my screen, right? Okay, right. So let's get started. So if we take our previous sessions, we are getting understanding about with the application modeler, right? So which we are understanding about application modeler, or I will be saying that spy modes here, right? While working with the Blue Prism, okay, so if I'm taking with the Blue Prism tool, this Blue Prism tool need to get interact with the application. Okay, so if I'm taking with the Blue Prism tool need to be get interact with the application. Now, whenever we are working with the Blue Prism tool, directly it will not be able to interact with the application. For that particular purpose, in between, it will be taking with the help of the concept that it will be taking with the application model. So now, if I'm taking with the Blue Prism tool, it will be interacting with the application modeler, and application modeler will be interacting with the application. In a similar manner, this application will be interacting with the application modeler, and application modeler will be interacting with the tool here. Now further, whenever we are working with the Blue Prism tool, if I'm taking with the application modeler, which it will be playing with the important role here. Now we need to be get understand in a very detail how exactly we can get work with the application modeler, and at the same time we need to be get understand that what are the different type of the spy modes here. So in that, we are already mentioning that whenever we are taking with the spy modes, or if you are taking with the application modeler, one you will be getting with the HTML mode, and one you will be mentioning that Win32 mode, and one you will be mentioning that region mode, and one you will be mentioning that accessibility mode. Right. So if I'm taking with the application modeler, one I will be taking with the HTML mode, and one I will be taking with the Win32 mode, and one I will be taking with the region mode, and one I will be taking with the accessibility mode here. Right. So if I'm taking with the HTML mode, if we take this HTML mode, this is related to web-based applications here. Okay, so which it will be working with web-based applications. If I'm taking with the Win32 mode, okay, so if I'm taking with the Win32 mode, which is related to window-based applications here. Okay, which is related to window-based applications here, and at the same time you will be taking with the region mode, which I will be mentioning that any application, okay, any application with the format of images, okay, which it will be mentioning that any application with the format of images. Next, we will be taking with the accessibility mode. So if I'm taking with the accessibility mode, again it will be mentioning that any application. Okay. So while working with the spy mode, one will be taking HTML mode, and one will be taking Win32 mode, and one will be taking with the region mode, and one will be taking accessibility mode. Now one by one we'll understand in a very detail here. Okay, so previously already we created with the one object to get understand about with the spy modes here, right? Now we created with the spy modes underscore HTML. So let me get open with the application modeler. Now we can see here, let's get open application modeler. Once we got open application modular, already we done with the setup here, right? Let me take with the launch activity. Once we done with the launch activity, which it is getting opening with the application, including with the browser here. Now already we have been spied with the different kind of the elements here, right? Now we can see we already mentioned that need to be get follow the standards. First is login page, then you will be taking all the respective elements. Next you will be taking with the home page, then you will be taking that respective elements. Then you will be taking with another page, and then you will be taking that respective elements. Now let me try with the some more elements here. So I'm taking with the login. Okay, so which it will be taking with the login, and here once we done with the login, which is considered with the home page here, right? Under home page we are taking with the one option. Once you click on highlight, it is getting highlighted. So whenever once we done with the spy of that particular object, once we click on highlight, if it is getting highlighting, there is no issues. Until unless it is getting highlighting it, we don't have any issues here. Now let me try with the one more object. So here we'll be taking with the add element. Let me take with the add button here. It will be mentioning that which you will be taking with the button. It will be taking with the add. Click on identify. Now we can see here getting with the HTML mode. So if I'm taking with the control, alt key from the keyboard, then giving Win32 mode, accessibility mode, region mode. So one will be taking HTML mode, one is Win32 mode, one is accessibility mode, and one is region mode. Okay, now we can see here which I will be taking with the HTML mode here. So if I'm taking with the HTML mode, which it will be taking with the spy of the add button. So exactly we are taking with the spy of the add button here. Now we can see here which I will be taking with the control left click. Once I'm taking with the control left click, okay. So once I'm taking with the control left click, now we can click on the highlight button. It's need to be get highlight on it. But you can see here it is giving an error. Okay. So previously till now, whenever we are clicking on the highlight, that particular element is getting highlighted. So in case of that particular element is getting highlighting it, we don't have any issues here. But if it is giving an error, we need to be cross-check that what exactly that errors are. Okay, now we can see here we are not able to get identify the object. That means by default, whatever the option of application modular is using, with the help of these options, we are not able to get identify the object. Then we need to be get a try with the different techniques here. Okay, so in case of not able to get identify the object, now we need to be try with the different techniques here. So what are all the different techniques we have to be try is the very first technique which I will be mentioning that, okay, the very first technique it will be mentioning that uncheck off all the blank values. Okay, which it will be mentioning that uncheck off all the blank values. What is the meaning of this is, if you look into this, you are able to see with the title it got clicked it, but if I'm taking with the value is a blank. If I'm taking with the link it got clicked it, but again the value is the blank here. Because of this, whenever you are getting identifying any other element, for that element also, in case of title is blank, then it will be considered in a duplicate, then there may be a chances not able to get identify the objects here, right? So here whenever you are getting working with this. In case of the values is giving in a blank, for other element also if the value is blank, it will be considering in a duplicate and it will get in a confusion to get identify the particular element here. For that particular purpose, the very first technique we need to be try is uncheck with the blank values. Whatever the blank values are there, it will be taking with the uncheck of the blank values. Now we can click on highlight. Let me click on highlight, but still we are getting error. So we tried this particular technique, but still we are getting with the error. Then we need to be take with the one more technique. Okay. First we will be trying with uncheck of the blank values. Then we will be trying with the technique which it will be mentioning that match index here. Okay, which it will be trying with the match index here. That means if I'm taking with the application modeler, here I will be getting with the option match index here. I will be clicking on this particular checkbox. Once you have been click on this particular checkbox, then you will be clicking on highlight. We'll see whether it is highlighting or not. Okay, still we are getting an error. Let me try once again. Still it is giving an error. That means we tried with the match index option, which it is giving an error here. Okay, right. Then you can see here, we tried with the match index, it's not working. Then you will be taking with the one more option that you will be taking with the match reverse. Okay, now we can see here. One you will be taking match index and one you will be taking match reverse. Click on it, clicking on highlight. Now we'll see. Okay, no, still not able to identify, giving an error. Let me try once again. Clicking on the highlight activity, but still it is giving an error here. So if we understand it, we are trying to get work with the different kind of techniques, but still not able to get identify the element. So these kind of activities we can consider like in a technical challenges here. Okay, so these things will be considered like in a technical challenges here, because we are trying with the different techniques but still not able to identify the object. Now let me take with it the one more option that it will be mentioning the x comma y values here. Okay, now we can see it will be trying by providing with the x comma y values. It will be having x comma y values. Now click on highlight. Okay, but still it is giving an error. So whenever we are getting and identifying an element, we need to be make with the different trials one by one. We don't have any other option here. We need to be making a trial with the each and every option here. Okay, now here, as we tried all these options, still not able to get identify the element, then another technique is which will be mentioning that uncheck of all the blank values. Sorry, uncheck of all the checked values. Okay, we will be mentioning that uncheck of all the checked values and try with individual. Okay, try with individual attribute. Okay, so we'll be mentioning that uncheck of all the checked values and try with individual attribute. So that individual attributes also, if I'm taking with the hierarchy, first I will be trying with the ID. Okay, so first I will be getting trying with the ID, and after that I will be taking with the name, and after that I will be taking with the value, and after that I will be taking with the class, and after that I will be mentioning it attribute combination. Okay, we can say that attribute combination. Okay, combination. That means example is which we can say that ID and name. Okay, any combination here, which it will be mentioning that any attribute combination. So according to the requirement, we can take with it any attribute combinations here, right? Now we can see here. So we're done with all these things, right? Now you will be taking uncheck of all the checked values. Okay, now we can see here. Okay, so these are the values got checked. You will be taking with the uncheck of all the values. Whatever the check boxes got checked, it will be taking with the uncheck of all the things here. Now, what is the first option need to be try is which it will be taking ID. Now we can see here. Let me search with the ID attribute. Now, if you look into this ID attribute, okay. So if I'm taking with the ID attribute, we are not able, we are not able to see the value. We are having ID attribute, but the value is blank. Again, no use of that. Let me search with the name attribute here. Now, if we look into this, which you will be taking with the name attribute. So we don't have any name attribute. ID is not available, name is not available, right? Then you will be taking with the value. Let me try with the value attribute. Value attribute. Right, able to see with the value attribute. Now clicking on this particular checkbox and click on highlight. Now we'll see here whether it is getting highlighting or not. So until unless either it is getting highlighting or it is giving an error, we have to be waited. So once we click on add, it is getting highlighting it, right? If you see here, again I will be clicking on highlight, it is getting highlighting it. So as getting highlighting it, then you will be stopping working with the different techniques here. Okay, so in case assume that it is not working, then you can take with a combination. For example, I'm taking with the value which I will be taking with the x comma y, and then you will be clicking on the highlight. Now it is getting highlighting it. Okay, either we can get work with the individual attribute or you will be working with the combinations here. Okay, so this is what which it will be mentioning it. So I will be taking with the combination, working with the different kind of attributes here. So this which you will be getting with the different challenges and which it will be identifying with the different techniques here. So going forward, according to the requirement, it will be getting spied with the different kind of elements and need to be get identified with the different kind of the objects here. Okay, so this is what which it will be working with the very detailed working with the HTML mode here. Okay, so clear about with the HTML mode. Any clarifications with working with the HTML mode?
Could you please repeat steps 2, 3, and 4 once again? The match index, match reverse, x and y values.
Yeah. So here it's a one simple concept is first you are getting identifying it. Then you are clicking on highlight. If it is identifying, okay. If it is not identifying, then you are trying with the different techniques here. First is you are taking uncheck of all the blank values and you are trying it. If it is not working, then you are taking with the option of the match index. By default, you will be having with the attribute of match index. Now we can see here. Let me try with the property. Okay. So by default, you will be having the property of match index. Just you will be clicking on this particular checkbox and then you will click on highlight. If it is highlighting, okay. If match index is not working, then you will be taking match reverse. Again, you will click on highlight. Then if it is highlighting, okay. If it is not highlighting, then you will be taking with the x comma y values and you will click on highlight. Just you're making with the trials only. This is concept of like trial and error. Just you are trying with each and every option. If you're getting any error, you are trying with one more option. If it is highlighting, then you will be stopping at that particular step only here. Okay, our target is identifying an element is our target. Which option we are using, which technique we are using, that will depends on the tester only. So based on the tester comfortable, he may work with any kind of the different techniques here. There is no particular standard step, like we need to be work with only these options here. So whatever the standards I'm giving, these are the very common activities which it will be following it while working with the real time here. Okay.
So, whichever method we feel comfortable, we can go right away. Like, suppose if the
Right.
element is not getting identified, we can directly go with name or ID without
Yes.
going with all the other steps.
Exactly, exactly. So based on the user comfortable, based on his experience, he can go with any of the option here. But generally, I'm giving some hierarchy as part of our project experience, but it's not like mandatory that everyone has to be follow the same thing here. So based on their experience, anyone go with any option. Target is identifying element is our target. Which option need to be get used? That will depends on the user only here. Okay.
So, is there any possibility that we can add the property like using sometimes we use the regular expressions for certain elements, right?
I mean, adding the property means, I mean, here we are able to see with the all the attribute list is there. So we need to be take with the help of these attributes only, but we are having with the possibility to modify the values here. For example, if I'm taking with the x comma y, we are able to see with the value. In case if you want to be changed with the values, we can change it. If I'm taking with the index, we are able to see whether the index is 1. If you want to be changed with the value, we can change it. So this possibility we are having it here.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
So now this is I will be taking with the very detail about with the application modular, which is related to the HTML module. Now in a similar manner, we need to be understand about with the Win32 mode here. If I'm taking with the Win32 mode, you will be mentioning the window based application. Okay, so if I'm taking with the Win32 mode, which it will be mentioning the window-based applications here. So what exactly mean by this window-based application? How we can work with the Win32 mode? Okay, so for that, let me create one more object. I will be creating with the object. I will be taking with the spy modes underscore, which it will be mentioning the Win32 mode here. Okay, fine. Click on the next button. Now you will be asking with the description. You can click on finish. Okay, let's get double click on it. Now, till now we are working with the web-based applications, right? In a similar manner, you will be working with the window-based application. How we are working with the web-based application, you will be taking with the same step related to the Windows application also. So for that, we need to be again set up with the application modular. So for the Windows application, let's take with the best example is calculator. If I'm taking with the calculator, which is considering a Windows application, right? So if I'm taking with the calculator, which it will be considered as a Windows application here. Now here we need to be get understand that how we can work on it here. Okay. Now let me take with the setup for this here. Okay. First, you will be taking application modular. Once you click on application modular, it's need to be get open it, asking with the application name, clicking on the next button. Then it is asking for Windows application or Java based or browser based. Till now, we are getting selecting with the browser based application. Correct. So till now we are getting selecting with the browser based application. Now you will be taking with the Windows application here. Okay. So taking with the Windows application, click on the next button. Okay. Now it is asking it application need to be launched from executable file or application is already got open it or already got running. So you will be mentioning that application need to be get open from the executable file only. You will be mentioning that executable file. Again, click on the next button. Now it is asking path of the application. In case if you are working with the web application, okay, so if you are working with the web application, you are working with providing with the application URL and providing with the path of the browser. But now there is no concept of URL, right? Whenever you are working with the window based application, you will be providing with the path of the exe file. Now let me provide path of the exe. That is, for now we are working with the calculator, right? Which you will be taking with the calculator, you will be taking with the properties. Okay, now this is where you will be having the calculator exe file need to be provided with the path of this. Need to be provided with the path including with the file name and the extension. Okay, so including with the file name and extension, we need to be provided. Okay, now clicking on the next button. If required any comments, you can get provided. Otherwise, just you can click on the next button, which it will be taking finish activity. Okay, so once you're done with the finish, getting with the same window of application modular, again you will be getting with the option is launch. Right. So okay, once you have been click on the launch button. Okay. Once you have been click on the launch button, it's need to be get open with the calculator. So getting opening with the calculator. So by this, whatever the application modular setup is there, which it will be considering with the correct only. In case if it is not getting opening with the calculator, then again we need to be recheck about with the steps here. Okay. Now by this, we are able to get open with the application modular and able to get open with the calculator window. Fine. Now let's get identify the elements. Again, you will be following the same standards. First, you will be taking with the whole page name. Now, as we are working with this calculator, let's take with the whole window. First, you will be getting identifying with the window hyphen, which you will be mentioning the calculator. Click on identify. Now we can see here it is taken Win32 mode. In case if I'm taking with the control, it will be taken with the accessibility mode, region mode. But again, if we see here, there is no concept of HTML mode here. So whenever you are working with the Windows application, you will not be getting with the option of the web-based application. That is, you will not be getting with the access of HTML mode here. Okay, so for now we are working with the window based application that will be taking with the Win32 mode. Let's get provide with downloader. Now we can see here it will be taking with the option that it will be taking with the spy mode. I mean getting identifying with the whole window. Right. So we are getting identifying with the whole window, which will be taking with the control left click. Now, so once you're done with the control left click, now we can click on the highlight. It is getting highlighting it. Okay. Again, until unless it is getting highlighting. Okay. So until unless it is getting highlighting, we don't have any issues here. Now let's click on highlight. It is getting highlighting, so we don't have any issues here. Now under this window, let me take with the some more elements. Let's take in a button of the 6 here. We'll be taking add chain, which will be taking button hyphen. We will be taking with the 6 here. Okay, so we'll be taking with the button hyphen, which will be taking with the 6 here. Now we can click on identify. Once you click on identify, you will be taking with the 6 here. Okay. So once you click on identify, which you will be taking with the button is 6, you will be getting identified. Now you will be taking with the control left click. Once you are taking with the control left click, then again you can click on highlight. Now we're done for the button 6, right? Once you click on highlight, it's need to be get highlighted. But you can see here, it is getting highlighting it, but it is not getting highlighting our required button. We done for button 6, but it is getting highlighting with the other one. Now again, we need to try with the different techniques here. So whenever you are working with the HTML mode, how we are working with the different techniques, in a similar manner, we need to try with the same thing for Windows application also. Okay, so if I'm taking with the HTML mode, first you are mentioning that uncheck off all blank values. Again, I will be trying with the same thing. I will be taking with the uncheck off blank values. Now we can see here, making with the uncheck of blank values. Okay, now let me try on it. Click on highlight, still not getting highlighting it. Okay, first technique we tried it. What is the second technique here? Match index. Now we can understand very detailed about match index and match reverse. Let me take with the match index. If I'm taking with the match index, it is mentioning with the 1. Okay, click on highlight. It is getting highlighting with the first button. As index got provided with the 1, getting highlighting with the first button here. Now let me take with the index will be the 2. Okay, it will be taking index will be the 2. Again click on highlight. So once we click on highlight, now it is getting highlighting with the second one here. If I'm taking with the 2, getting highlighting with the second one. In case if I'm taking with the 3, click on highlight, getting highlighting with the third button. Now we can see here, we are able to change with the value. In case if you are aware of that, what is the index of that particular button, which it will be providing with the changing with the index, and then it will be getting highlighted. Now, once we click on the highlight, it is getting highlighting with the third button here. Okay. But our requirement is button is 6, right? Now we need to be take with the index 1 by 1, and we need to be cross check them. Okay. Or else, let me try with another option. Now you will be taking match index and match reverse, right? Now let me take with the match reverse. Now we can see what is the button it is getting identified. In case if I'm not mentioning with the match reverse, it is getting identifying with the third button. In case if I take with the match reverse and click on highlight, it is getting highlighting the third button in a reverse order. So this is 1 and this is 2 and this is 3. So let's click on highlight, getting highlighting third button. It is getting identifying from the reverse order here. So that is what I will be taking with the help of this match reverse and match index. For example, assume that I will be taking with the 4, then click on highlight, getting highlighting in the reverse order. So according to the requirement, need to be get understanded whether need to be take with the option of the match index, or which I will be taking with the match reverse here. Okay. So thus one I will be taking with the match index, and one I will be taking with the match reverse here. Okay. So now I will be getting trying with the different options. Okay. Which I will be getting trying with the different option that I will be taking with the match index, and which I will be taking with the match reverse. But our requirement is button 6, right? As we tried with these options also, not able to get identify the respective object. Okay, then what we have to do it, let me see here. First we tried with uncheck with the blank values, then we tried with the match index, then we tried with the match reverse. Then what we will be trying x comma y values. Now we can see here. Let me take x comma y, click on highlight, but still it is giving an error. Okay, even if I'm taking with the x comma y values also, it is giving an error here. Then what is the next possibility? Once we done with the x comma y not able to identify, then uncheck of all the checked values, then we need to be try with the individual attribute. Okay, now we can see here. Taking with the uncheck of, okay, right. take with the uncheck of all the checked values. Okay. So taking with the uncheck of all the checked values. Now we need to get try with again individual attribute. The very first attribute is ID. Let me try with ID attribute. ID attribute. We don't have any ID attribute. Then I will be taking with the name. Let me try with the name attribute. We don't have any name attribute also. Then I will be trying with the value. If we see here, even value attribute is also not available. Most of the time, while working with the web-based application, this value attribute will become a unique here. Not like mandatory. There may be a chances most of the time this value option, value attribute will become a unique attribute here. In a similar manner, if I'm taking with the Windows application, most of the time, not like again always, most of the time you will be taking with the one attribute ordinal. Okay, which I will be taking with the ordinal attribute. So this ordinal attribute will become a unique. Not like mandatory, but there may be a chances most of the time this ordinal attribute will become a unique here. Now we can see here. Let's take this search with the ordinal attribute here. Ordinal. Okay. Able to see with the ordinal attribute, click on it. Now click on highlight. Now you can see here getting highlighting with the button 6. We required with the 6 only, right? Once I been click on the highlight, getting highlighting with the button is 6. So which option? It's not like mandatory. We need to be take only these options here. So these are all the issues you will be getting it, and these are the solutions need to be trying it one by one here. So this is how you will be getting identifying with the elements here. Now let me take with the one more button. You will be taking with the button and you will be taking with the 4. Click on identify. You are taking with the Win32 mode only and you will be taking with the 4 here. Okay, which you will be taking with the Win32 mode and you will be taking with the button is 4 here. Now you will be taking with the control left click, then clicking on the highlight. Once you click on highlight, still not able to get identify the object. Then you will be trying all the options. The first option is uncheck with the blank value. Click on highlight, not getting highlighting it. Okay, then what you will be trying it. Okay, the next option is you will be taking with the match index here. Click on highlight, again taking in a match index. We given one, right? Taking with the first button. So this is also not highlighting. Then what you will be trying, which you will be taking match reverse. Now it will get identify in a reverse order. Okay, so in a reverse order it is getting identifying with the first button here. But this is not our requirement, right? Our requirement is button 4. So match reverse is not working, match index is also not working. Then you will be taking x comma y. Let's provide x comma y. Click on highlight. Now we can see x comma y is working, right? So you are able to see that working with the x comma y here. So once you click on highlight, it is getting highlighting with the that button here. Now I have not taken, we have not taken with the ordinal attribute here. Once I once we provide with the x comma y values, it is getting highlighting that particular button here. So this is what which it will be mentioning that working with the Win32 mode. Previously we said that ordinal attribute is unique, right? Let me try with that just to cross check that. I'm taking with the uncheck of all these things, then I'm taking with the ordinal attribute. Now we can see here, if I'm clicking on highlight, it is highlighting 4, but apart from that, it is highlighting other activities also. That means in a previous scenario, this is becoming a unique, but now in this scenario, it will not be becoming a unique here. All right. So for this, as this ordinal attribute is not working, then it will be taking with the combination. For example, I will be taking it x comma y. Now click on highlight, it is getting highlighting it. Okay, so this is what which it will be trying with the different options here. Okay, so according to the user comfortable, whatever the technique we have to be use it, we can take any of the technique. So totally our target is identifying an element is our target. Which option we have to use it, that will depends on the user only. So based on the user comfortable, we need to be take any option here. Okay, so clear about with the Win32 mode, working with the window based application. Any clarifications on it? Okay, I'm closing it. So now one we are understanding about web-based application, it will be taking HTML mode, and one it will be taking with the Win32 mode, working with the window-based application. So while working with the real time, okay, so while working with the real time, most of the time, either it will be working with the web-based applications or it will be working with the window-based application. In case if these two options are not working it, okay, if these two options are not working it, easy. Okay, so in case of these two options are not working it, then it will be taking with the region mode. Now we need to be understand that how we can get work with the region mode. So it is clearly mentioning that. So if I'm taking with the region mode, it is related to any application. Okay, so if I'm taking with the region mode, which is related to any application. Okay, now let me get understand in a very clear how we can work with the region mode. This is one important feature, or we can say that one of the extra option available in the Blue Prism tool. If we compare any other automation tool, we don't have this particular technique here. Okay, now let's see here with the help of the region mode, how we can get identify the elements here. Okay, so for that, let me take web application only. Previously already we done with the one web application, right? Let me take with the same thing here. Okay, I'm clicking on application modular, getting with the web application related objects. So here, let me launch activity. I'm closing it. Let's take with the launch activity. Okay, it's got open it. Now we need to be identified. So previously already we identified this text boxes with the help of the HTML mode. Okay. Now we already identify with the elements with the help of the HTML mode. But the same elements now we are trying to get identified with the help of the region mode. Now we can see how we can work with the region mode. Let's click on identify. Once you click on identify, okay, so once I have been click on identify, if I'm taking with, okay, if I'm taking with the individual element, I'm able to get identify the individual element. Okay, so whenever you are working with the HTML mode, okay, whenever you are working with the HTML mode, you are able to get a spy with the individual element. Okay, now let me take with the region mode. I'm taking alt from the keyboard. So from the keyboard you are taking with the alt, then the spy mode will change it. Win32 mode, accessibility mode, region mode. Now whenever you are working with the region mode, okay, so whenever you are working with the region mode, you are trying to get spy individual element. Okay, so while working with the region, While working with the region mode, if I'm taking with the individual element, it is not able spying it. You can see here, don't get confused. Whenever I'm taking with the region mode, if I'm keeping the cursor to any of the element, it is not able to spy the particular element, getting identifying with the whole window, nothing but the whole screen is getting spying it. If I'm taking HTML mode, if I'm taking HTML mode, I'm able to spy with the individual element here. Okay, but if I'm taking with the region mode, it is not able to get spy with the individual elements here. Okay, now we can see here, let me take with the whole screen. Now if you remember it, we are clearly mentioning that whenever you are working with the region mode, it will be taking with the format of image. That means whenever you are working with the region mode, okay, first you will be taking with the snap of the whole screen. Okay. Whatever this particular screen is there, okay, whatever this particular screen is there, which it will be taking with the whole snap of the screen here. Once you are taking with the snap of the whole screen, then from that particular snap you will be taking with the particular element. Now we can see here, let me take a control left click. Once I done with the control left click, application modeler will be taking with the snap of the whole screen here. Okay, right, now we can see here, getting with the one more window. Application modeler, this is different window, getting one more window, Blue Prism region editor. Right, now you can see here, whatever our active screen is there, it was taking with the snap of the whole screen. Whatever the screen we are having it, taking with the snap of the whole screen here. So now you will be taking with the spying of particular element. You will be clicking on the button is region. Once you click on the region button, in case if you want to be spy with the username text box, taking with the spy of username text box. So we need to be very careful while working with this. Okay, now I have been taken with the spy, right? For easy understanding, you will be mentioning that you're taking with the region mode underscore. It is a text box, right? Okay. Once you're done with the spy of it, you can provide with the name. For example, you will be mentioning it text box underscore. You will be taking username. Click on apply. Now, if I'm keeping the cursor, you will be able to see that particular name here. Okay, and after that, you will be taking with the password here. So if I'm taking with the password, again, you will be taking with the spy of it. Okay, so you will be taking with the spy of it, which you will be getting with the spy of it. Okay, now again you will be providing with the name, mentioning that region mode underscore, you will be taking with the text box underscore, you will be taking password. Click on apply. In case it is a button, again you'll take with the same thing. Now you can see, first you are taking with the snap of whole screen, after that you are taking with the spying of individual element. Now this is a button, right? So I will be mentioning that I will be taking region mode underscore, I will be taking with the button underscore, taking with the login. Now click on apply. So like this, whatever the elements you want to be spy it, it will be taking with the highlight of those elements here. Now you can click on OK. Right. Now we can see here, related to the region mode, what are the elements you have been identified, you will be getting with the list of those details here. Okay, so now if you see here, you are able to see to get one more extra button. In case if I'm taking this element, this is we done with HTML mode, right? We don't have the button of the region. But if I'm taking with the region mode, we are getting with the option of the region. Okay, so here if I'm clicking on the drop down, previously whatever the snap we have been taken, you will be having with the snap of that. Now if required, you will be getting opening that particular snap, and again you can get identified some more element. For example, assume that you want to be take with the clear button, then you will be taking with the spy of the clear button. Then you will be providing the details here. You will be mentioning that region mode underscore, which you will be taking with the button only, underscore you will be taking with the clear. Okay, now we can click on apply and they will be taking OK. So whatever the elements you want to be spied, we can take with the list of those elements. Now we can see here. Let me click on the highlight. I'm taking username. Whatever the element we have been taken region, right? So that particular region will be getting highlighting it. Click on highlight. That particular region is getting highlighting. If I'm taking password, click on highlight. It is getting highlighting it. Right? If I'm taking with the button, in case if I'm taking login, click on highlight, getting highlighting that login. So whatever the region we have been spied, which it will be getting highlighting that particular one. Okay, so this is what which you will be taking with the region mode here. So region mode is nothing but we are spying an element only, but we are spying an element in a format of the image here. So while working with the real-time scenarios, whenever you are getting identifying an object, in case of HTML mode and in case of Win32 mode, if these two things are not working, then you will be taking with the region mode. By default, you will not be working with the region mode. Okay, by default you will not be working with the region mode. In case of these two options are not working, then you will be taking with the help of the region mode here. Okay, so this working with the HTML mode, Win32 mode, region mode. Next we need to get understand about accessibility mode here. Okay, so clear up to this, clear about with the details of region mode.
One question, like when HTML mode or the Win32 mode does not work, I mean when you cannot identify the elements using those two modes, you go to the region mode.
Right, exactly.
So does the region mode have any special attributes that it is, I mean, it'll work when HTML mode doesn't work?
So attributes, what will happen is attributes you will be taking with the same attributes only. But here, whenever you are working this HTML mode, it is getting with the attributes some image related here. Now we can see here, you're taking with the element snapshot. If I'm taking this element snapshot, this attribute you will not be getting in HTML mode or Win32 mode. And moreover, whenever you are working with the element, I mean, whenever we are working with the region mode, as it is clearly mentioning with the region, what it is doing is it is trying to identify the particular region which we have been spied in. For example, if we get open our screen, first what we done, we taken with the snap of whole screen. After that, we are clicking on the region button. Once we click on region button, we are taking with the region. We are taking some particular region, which region need to be get highlighted. Now it will be getting highlighting this particular region. Okay, so this option will not be there in HTML mode or Win32 mode. So basically, if we take in a best example, take an option of a captcha. Take with the best example is captcha. So if you want to be get automated, if I'm taking with the captcha that is considering in a one image, right? In image you will be having text will be there. You want to be read text from that image. So with the help of normal techniques, it will not be able to get identified. Then we have to be take with the help of region mode only. Not like only capture. The simple understanding how you guys can understand is whenever we are working with the Blue Prism, first you are taking with the HTML mode, after that you are taking Win32 mode. In case if you are not able to identify the element by using these two options, then you will be taking region mode. But while working with the region mode, specifically we are taking with the snap, nothing but we are taking with the image, and after that you will be taking with the spy of that particular elements in the image and then getting identifying the elements here. Okay, so clear about with the region mode. Any more clarifications here? Right.
So if I have the capture image on my web page, can I combine both HTML mode and region mode to identify the elements of the page?
No, that will not be done. We'll be working only in a one mode only. There is no possibility for combination. Okay. Now, at last we need to be take with the accessibility mode. So if I'm taking with the accessibility mode, it is also mentioning that any application, it may be web-based application or Windows application, any application, it will be working with the accessibility mode. But again, if I'm taking with the accessibility mode also, by default, it will not be working with the accessibility mode. Okay, so by default, it will not be working with the accessibility mode here. In case, okay, in case any of those three options are not working, okay, any of those three options are not working, then it will be taking with the accessibility mode. So first it will be trying with HTML mode, then it will be trying with the Win32 mode, then it will be trying with the region mode. Maximum 80% of the time it will be completed within HTML or Win32 only. If not, it will be taking region. If not, at last it will be taking accessibility mode here. Now we can see how you will be working accessibility mode here. Okay. Now let me take add element. Now while working with the accessibility mode is a very straightforward again. Click on identify. Now it will be taking alt from keyboard with 32 mode accessibility. When you're taking with the accessibility mode, it will be taking with the spy of that individual element only, getting with the spy of individual element. Now you will be taking with the control left click, which you will be taking with the control left click. Let's click on highlight. It is getting highlighting both the text boxes here. So we spied with the only one text box, but getting highlighting with the both the text boxes here. Now again, you need to try with the again the different techniques here. Okay. For example, which you will be taking with the technique here. Let me get add with the x comma y. Click on highlight. No, not getting working on it. Let me take with the some more values here. Okay. So we need to be try with the some more values. Let me take with the some more values. Now let me try with the any index is available here. Okay, we'll be trying with the index. Click on highlight. Now we can see getting highlighting it. So this is how which it will be taking with the accessibility mode. While working with the accessibility mode also, which it will be taking with the same technique. First, it will be taking with the click on highlight. It is highlighting okay. Otherwise, again, it will be trying with the all the individual attributes here. Okay. So this is which it will be mentioning that one it will be taking with the HTML mode, and one it will be taking Win32 mode, and one it will be taking with the region mode, and one it will be taking with the accessibility mode here. Okay, so whenever we are working with the whenever we are getting working with the Blue Prism tool according to the application based on the requirement, as a user we need to be understand which option we have to be using. So here there is no particular condition like need to be work HTML mode or need to be work Win32. No one will be telling that you have to be work with HTML mode or you have to be work with the Win32. As a user, we need to be understand that we have to be take our own option. The whole target is identifying an element is our target. Which option we have to use it, that will depends on the user. Based on the user comfortable, we can take any option here. Okay, so clear about whether the whole spy modes. Any clarifications here? When HTML mode, Win32 mode, region mode, accessibility mode. Okay. Right. So now, if we take our previous sessions, first we are getting understanding about different kind of the functionality of the stages. Right. So first we got understand about what exactly the functionality of different stages. Next, we discussed about debug options here. Right. So we discussed about with the debug options available in the Blue Prism. Next, we discussed about with the application modeler. Okay, application modeler, which it will be saying the spy modes here. Now, these are all the things we need to be very perfect. Now, with the help of these things, you will be getting started designing with the flows here. Now, we need to be get started designing with the flows here. According to the project requirement, we need to be take with the some basic flows, and we need to be get understand that how exactly we can take with the designing the flow. So whenever you are designing with the flow, you will be taking with the help of these things here. Previously, we done with it individually. Now you will be getting combining all these things, and they need to be get started designing with the flows here. Okay. So from tomorrow, you will be getting understanding that how exactly we can design with the flows here. Okay, if possible, from tomorrow we'll be taking with the some more time here, more time. So try to get a plan according to that here. Okay, so from tomorrow we'll be getting started working this designing the flows, and we'll get understand that how exactly we can take with the automation while working with the Blue Prism here. Okay, so clear about all the things. Any questions before closing it? Okay. So if we don't have any questions, we can get exit from the meeting. Okay. Thank you, guys. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.